The light on the hills. Hi everyone. Welcome to our video on the light on the hills story. Today, we will learn about a beautiful moment where the light on the hills brings inspiration, hope, and a sense of purpose. Hello everyone. Today, we will practice listening and speaking skills with the light on the hills topic. The story tells about the beauty of the hills as they glow under a gentle light, inspiring hope and a sense of purpose. Now, let's begin our listening and speaking practice. Chapter 1. The Village in the Valley. Imagine a small, beautiful village called Meadow. It sits in a valley, like a bowl between tall, green hills. The houses are small and have red roofs. Flowers grow everywhere, in gardens, along fences, and even in small pots on windowsills. It's a very peaceful place. The air is fresh and smells like grass and flowers. In the daytime, the sun shines brightly, making everything look warm and happy. Little streams of water run through the village, making soft, trickling sounds. Anna is a bright and curious girl of 12 years old. She has long, brown hair that she often wears in a braid. She has big, blue eyes that are always looking at something new and interesting. Anna is very brave and loves adventures. She is always asking questions and trying to understand the world around her. Tom is Anna's younger brother. He is 10 years old. He has short, blonde hair and wears glasses. Tom is very kind and gentle, and he is good at drawing. He is a little shy and sometimes a bit scared, but he always follows Anna because he trusts her. Anna and Tom live in a small, cozy house with their parents. Their house has a garden with lots of vegetables and bright flowers. Every evening, as the sun goes down, the hills around Meadowview begin to glow with a golden light. It's a beautiful sight. The light is warm and soft, like a gentle fire. The villagers call this the light on the hills. They love to watch it from their windows or while sitting outside. Anna and Tom love to watch the light, too. They sit on their porch with their family and wonder about it. One evening, Anna's grandmother, Grandma Rose, comes to visit. Grandma Rose is old and wise, and she knows many stories. She tells Anna and Tom that the light on the hills isn't just a pretty sight. She says it is a magic place where dreams can come true. She smiles and tells them that it is a place where those with good hearts can find something very special. Anna's eyes grew very wide. She became very curious. Grandma, is it true? Can we really find something special there? She asked, her voice full of excitement. Yes, dear, Grandma Rose said softly, but you have to be very brave and very kind. The hills are full of secrets. From that day on, Anna was determined to visit the hills. She wanted to see the magical place for herself. She wanted to find the special thing. She asked Tom to come with her on her adventure. Tom was a little nervous, but he didn't want to let Anna go alone. So, he said yes. Now they had a plan. Chapter 2. The Mysterious Tale. Later that evening, Anna and Tom are sitting in Grandma Rose's small cottage. It's a very cozy place. A warm fire crackles in the fireplace, making the room feel warm. The light from the fire makes dancing shadows on the walls. Grandma Rose is sitting in her favorite rocking chair, and Anna and Tom are sitting close to her on a soft rug. There are old books on a shelf behind Grandma Rose, and the smell of cookies is in the air. Grandma Rose begins to tell a story. It's not just any story, it's about the light on the hills. She says that many years ago, there was a very special treasure hidden on the hills. The treasure wasn't gold or jewels. It was something much more valuable. She lowers her voice and says that the treasure could grant a wish to anyone with a kind heart. She tells them that this treasure is a gift from the spirits of the hills. Long ago, she started, her voice soft and low like the gentle wind. The hills were home to a wise and kind spirit. This spirit loved the people of the village and wanted to give them a gift. So, they placed a treasure, not of gold or silver, but of pure kindness and hope at the very heart of the hills. This treasure can grant one wish to those who are pure of heart. Anna listened with wide eyes filled with wonder. How will we find it, Grandma? Grandma Rose smiled and continued. The path is hidden to those who are selfish or greedy, but the spirit of the hills will guide those who are kind and courageous. She paused and looked at both the children. The way isn't easy. You must be very careful, and you must always be kind. Anna's eyes sparkled with excitement, imagining all the possibilities. She wanted to find this treasure more than ever. She thought, what wish would I even make? She couldn't wait to go on this amazing quest. Tom, who was usually quiet, sat very still. He was excited, but he also felt a little bit frightened. He had never done anything so adventurous before. He looked at Anna. He knew that she was very brave. He would have to be brave too. He imagined the treasure and hoped that they would really find it. After the story, Grandma Rose gave Anna and Tom some warm milk and cookies. They went home to bed with their heads full of magical stories and dreams of adventure. They knew they had to visit the hills and find this amazing treasure. Chapter 3. The plan. Anna and Tom are back in their own small house. It's morning now, and the sun is shining through their window. Their room is simple, with a bed for each of them, a small desk with some art supplies, and a shelf full of books. Toys are scattered on the floor. They are talking excitedly near the window, looking at the hills in the distance. Anna was really excited, and she couldn't wait to start on their adventure. This was the first big adventure they would ever go on by themselves. Okay, Tom, she said, we need a plan. Their school was going to be closed for a week for a school break, so they had a whole week to find the treasure. Anna explained to Tom. She had been thinking all night about what they would need. First, they found an old backpack that their father used to use. They packed some food for their journey. They put in some sandwiches with cheese and tomatoes, some apples, and some cookies. They also took 2 bottles of water to drink. We'll need a light too, said Anna. So they packed a small flashlight and some extra batteries. They had to be ready for anything. Anna also grabbed a small notebook and a pencil. We can draw and write down everything we see in the hills, she said. They found a map that had belonged to their father. It was old, but it showed some of the paths to the hills. Anna carefully looked at the map. She traced it with her finger. We should go this way, she said, pointing at a path behind the village. It's a longer way, but it looks safer. Tom helped pack everything into the backpack. He was looking forward to the adventure, but he was still a bit nervous. He was glad that Anna was making a plan. It made him feel safer. They decided that they would leave early in the morning, before the sun got too hot. They wanted to be there when the hills started to glow. Like Grandma Rose said, they would have to be quiet to avoid waking their parents. They went to bed early so they could be well rested for their adventure. Although Tom was still a little nervous, he was excited about the challenge. Chapter 4. The journey begins. The sun is just starting to rise. It's very early and the sky is pale pink and orange. The village is still quiet. Most people are still sleeping. The air is cool and fresh. Anna and Tom are walking along a path that leads out of the village. The path goes into a forest. Anna and Tom woke up before the sun. They put on their shoes and whispered goodbye to their sleeping parents. They carefully walked out of the house and into the early morning. They had their backpack and were ready to go. As they walked along the path, the birds began to sing their morning songs. The trees were tall and green. Small animals like squirrels ran beside them. The forest smelled like damp earth and pine trees. The forest was very beautiful and peaceful. Anna and Tom followed the path. They walked slowly so that Tom wouldn't get too tired. They looked around at all the beautiful things. Anna drew pictures of birds in her notebook. Tom pointed at a family of deer. They saw a bright blue butterfly that landed on a flower. After walking for a while, they came to a small clearing where some sheep were grazing. There was a shepherd standing nearby. He was older, with kind eyes and a long beard. He had a wooden staff. The shepherd smiled at Anna and Tom. "Good morning, little ones," he said. "Where are you going so early?" he asked, his voice gentle. Anna told him about their plan to find the treasure on the hills. The shepherd listened carefully and then said, "Ah, the light on the hills. You are brave to seek its magic. It's a wonderful sight, but the path can be tricky. Be sure to follow the main path and don't go off into the woods. The trails can be confusing." He then pointed north. "The path to the hills is straight ahead, but beware of the windy rocks. They can be slippery. And try not to be out in the mountains after dark." Anna thanked the kind shepherd and promised they would be careful. They waved goodbye and continued on their way. Tom felt a little bit better, knowing that someone in the hills was looking out for them. They continued on, excited and eager for more adventures. Chapter 5. The Golden Meadow. After a long walk, Anna and Tom reached the base of the hills. The land opens up into a large meadow filled with beautiful wildflowers. The flowers are in all different colors: red, yellow, blue, and purple. Butterflies and bees fly from flower to flower. The sun is shining and the sky is blue. It's a very beautiful place. Anna and Tom had been walking for a long time. They were tired but excited to reach the bottom of the hills. They smiled as they stepped into the beautiful meadow. It took their breath away. It felt like they had entered a magic land. "Wow, look at all the flowers," Anna said, her voice full of wonder. She put her backpack down by a big tree. Tom quickly found a comfortable place to sit. They decided to take a break to rest and have a snack. Anna pulled out the sandwiches, apples, and water. They ate their food slowly, enjoying the beautiful view. The air smelled like sweet flowers. They watched the butterflies and listened to the buzzing of the bees. While they were resting, Anna noticed something interesting. She looked up at the hills and saw a small path that seemed to glow faintly in the sunlight. It wasn't as bright as the golden light in the evening, but it was still very noticeable. "Tom, look." Anna pointed at the path. "It's glowing. I think that's the way we should go." Tom looked and was very amazed. "It must be part of the magic, Anna." They packed up their things and started to walk towards the path. Their hearts were beating with excitement, and they couldn't wait to see where the shining path would lead. The path went up the hills. They were ready to face what was ahead. Chapter 6. The first challenge. Now Anna and Tom are climbing a rocky part of the path. The path is getting steeper, and there are loose rocks everywhere. The sun is starting to feel hotter. The trees are getting shorter. It's a little bit more difficult to walk now. As they started to climb the hills, the path became more difficult. There were many loose rocks and the slopes were steep. It was harder than walking in the meadow. Tom had a little bit of trouble. He slipped on a loose rock and almost fell. "Whoa!" he cried. Anna quickly reached out and helped him stand up. "Careful, Tom," she said. "We have to be very careful here. Watch where you step." Tom was a bit shaken, but he was okay. He brushed the dirt off his knees and smiled at Anna, thankful for her help. He knew that they had to work together to get to the top of the hills. They continued to climb, carefully placing their feet. They helped each other when they needed it. Anna was leading the way, and Tom was trying his best to keep up. After a while, they found an old wooden sign beside the path. It was partly broken and covered in moss. There were strange symbols carved into the wood. They had never seen anything like them before. The sign seemed very old and mysterious. "Look, what are these?" Anna said. She pulled out her notebook and began to sketch the symbols. "Maybe these are clues," she said. Tom took a close look at the sign, too. He was curious about the symbols. He tried to imagine what they could mean. He thought they looked a bit like animals and the moon. They looked at the symbols for a few minutes and then continued to climb up the path. They hoped they would understand the symbols later. They had to find a safe place to rest. Chapter 7. The Enchanted Stream. After climbing for a while, Anna and Tom found a stream of water. It's a lovely, small stream with clear, sparkling water. The sun shines on the water, making it look like it is glowing. There are smooth, colorful stones on the bottom of the stream. Small plants grow along the banks of the stream. The air around the stream feels cool and refreshing. Anna and Tom were happy to find the stream. They were both thirsty and their faces were covered in dust from the trail. They stopped by the bank of the stream to take a break. "This water looks so clear," Anna said. She dipped her hands into the water and brought them to her face. It felt very cool and refreshing. She then took a long drink. Tom also drank some water. He splashed some on his face, too. He felt much better. The cool water gave him new energy. They sat on a big rock by the stream. They took their shoes off and put their feet in the water. The water felt amazing. They looked at the small fish swimming in the stream. The fish had golden scales that shined in the sunlight. Suddenly, one of the fish jumped out of the water. It jumped very high and made a splash. It was such a surprise to both of them. They looked at it in amazement. It looked so bright and shiny. "Did you see that?" Anna said, excited. "It felt magical. I think this means that we are on the right path." She knew that they were getting closer to the treasure. Tom nodded, his eyes wide. "It was amazing," he said, his voice full of wonder. He had never seen anything like it before. The sparkling stream seemed to be a magical place. They decided to stay a while longer to rest. They were feeling excited about their adventure and their next steps. Chapter 8. The Whispering Wind. Anna and Tom are now at a higher point on the hill. The air is very clear and crisp. The trees are smaller now, and there are more rocks. They can see a long distance from the top of the hill. The wind is blowing gently, and it sounds like it is whispering. Anna and Tom continued to climb up the hills. The path was even steeper now, so they had to walk very carefully. They passed a few more rocky areas and small bushes. As they walked, they began to hear a soft sound. It sounded like the wind, but it was different. It sounded like whispers. "Do you hear that?" Anna asked. Tom listened carefully. "Yes, it's." Chapter 9. The Hidden Cave. A hidden cave near the top of the hill. Plot: the children discover a cave with a glowing entrance. Inside, they find beautiful crystals and an old chest. The chest is locked, but there is a keyhole shaped like a heart. They realize they need to solve the mystery of the symbols. Following the light, they came to a part of the hill they had not seen before. There, hidden behind some large rocks, was a cave, and the glow was coming from the entrance of this cave. The opening was not big, but it was big enough for them to fit through. It looked like the mouth of a happy giant. The soft, golden light poured out as if it was a welcoming smile. "Look," whispered Tom, his eyes shining with excitement. "A cave." They went closer, and with a deep breath, they stepped into the cave. Inside, it was amazing. The walls were covered in beautiful crystals. Some crystals were big and pointy, while some were small and smooth. They sparkled in shades of blue, green, and purple, reflecting the light from the entrance. It felt like they had stepped into a magical kingdom. In the middle of the cave, they saw a big, wooden chest. It looked very old. The wood was dark and covered in carvings. The chest was sitting on a flat rock and had shiny, metal corners. It looked very important, like it held a great secret, but there was no handle to open it with. They tried to open the chest, pushing and pulling, but it would not budge. They noticed that there was a keyhole, but the keyhole was shaped like a heart. "It's locked," Tom exclaimed, disappointed. "Maybe we need a key that is a heart shape," said Anna. "But how do we find such a key?" Anna looked back at the strange symbols in her notebook. She thought they had something to do with how to open the chest. The feeling was strong that these symbols were the key to unlocking the mystery in front of them. They were both ready for the next challenge. Chapter 10. The Heart's Key. Back at the meadow and the cave. Plot: Anna deciphers the symbols from her notebook. The symbols spell out a message. Kindness opens the way. Tom remembers helping a lost bird on the trail and places a feather near the chest. The chest unlocks, revealing a bright light. Anna and Tom decided they should leave the cave for a little while to think and discuss things. They carefully made their way back down the hill for a while, back to the meadow by the pond. They sat down on a soft patch of grass, and Anna opened her notebook. She looked carefully at the drawings of the symbols she had made. She started to see that the symbols were not just random shapes. They were a type of code, a special language. She carefully tried to make a phrase out of the groupings of symbols. After a while, she smiled. "I think I've done it," she said to Tom. She showed him her notebook. "I think the symbols are saying, 'Kindness opens the way.'" "Kindness?" Tom asked, confused. Then he remembered something. Earlier, when they were walking up the hill, they saw a small bird. The bird had a hurt wing. Tom had gently picked it up and fixed its wing, hoping for it to fly again. He had found one of its feathers near the bird and kept it in his pocket. He quickly took out the feather. He ran back towards the cave, Anna rushing after him. Back at the cave, Tom carefully placed the small bird feather near the chest, right next to the heart-shaped keyhole. Suddenly, they heard a soft click. The chest unlocked. A bright, white light beamed out from inside the chest, making them blink. They covered their eyes, amazed and excited. Chapter 11. The Treasure. Inside the glowing cave. Plot. The light forms into a golden figure who speaks to them. It says the true treasure is their courage and kindness. The figure grants them a single wish. Anna and Tom wish for their family and village to always be happy and safe. As their eyes adjusted to the light, they saw that it was forming into the shape of a tall, golden figure that shimmered as if made of light. The figure wasn't scary. It felt gentle, kind, and friendly. The figure then began to speak, its voice soft but strong, like the sound of a gentle breeze. "Welcome, brave children," it said. "You have shown courage and kindness on your journey. I have watched you carefully. The true treasure is not something you find. The true treasure is the goodness that is within you. It is the courage to explore and the kindness you show to others." Anna and Tom listened carefully, feeling very special. "Because you have found this path, and because you are very special children, I can grant you one wish," the golden figure said. Anna and Tom looked at each other, trying to decide what they should wish for. They had so much to think about. They thought about what was most important to them. Finally, Anna spoke up. "We wish for our family and our village to always be happy and safe." The golden figure smiled. "Your wish is granted. Your kindness and love for others are a very good treasure. Always remember that." The light then began to fade and slowly disappeared, leaving the cave softly lit by the crystals once again. Chapter 12. The Return, the Village and Their Home. Plot. Anna and Tom return home as the sun sets, feeling proud of their adventure. The light on the hills glows brighter that evening. They share their story with their grandmother, who smiles knowingly. The villagers celebrate their return, and Anna and Tom feel a deep sense of joy. The sun was setting as Anna and Tom carefully walked back down the hill and headed back to their village. They were tired but felt happy and proud of their adventure. It was like they had been on a long and exciting holiday. They had faced challenges, solved a mystery, and found something amazing. As they arrived back at home, they looked back at the hill. The light glowed brighter than ever before that evening. It seemed to shine with a new kind of power and warmth. They went into Anna's grandmother's house. She smiled when she saw them and offered them hot chocolate. She was happy to see them return home, safe and sound. They told her all about their adventure, the forest, the symbols, the cave, and the golden figure and what they had found. She listened very carefully, with a knowing smile on her face. She did not seem at all surprised. "You are both very special children," she said, patting each of them affectionately on the head. "You have discovered the true magic of the light. You have always had a good heart." The villagers celebrated their return, happy and relieved to see them safe. Anna and Tom felt a deep sense of joy in their hearts. They were so happy to be home with their family and friends. They had learned about the power of kindness and the courage to explore. Years later, in the same village, plot Anna and Tom grow up, but the memory of their adventure stays with them. The light on the hills continues to shine, inspiring others to dream and explore. The legend of the treasure is passed on, keeping the magic alive for future generations. Why? Years went by, and Anna and Tom grew into young adults. Anna became a teacher, and Tom became a carpenter. Years went by, and Anna and Tom grew into young adults. Anna became a teacher, and Tom became a carpenter. They both helped their village, but they never forgot their adventure up the hill. The memory of the forest, the cave, and the golden figure stayed with them always. The light on the hills continued to shine brightly every evening, inspiring others to dream and explore. The villagers told the story of Anna and Tom to their children, and children told the story to the children after them. The story became a legend which everyone knew and loved. The story was about not only the adventure up the hill, but also about courage, kindness, and the mystery of the light. And so, the magic of the light on the hills lived on, reminding everyone that true treasure lies not in material possessions, but in the goodness of the heart and the courage to seek what is hidden. And every evening when the light shone down on the villagers knew it was a wish come true, and that they were very lucky indeed. And though they may never understand it, all knew the light was there for them always.